Hi all, welcome to JLearn. I am Akshara. Today we are going to discuss chronology. Chronology of the works of Jane Austen, Thomas Hardy and D.H. Lawrence. You know that chronology questions are very important. So many questions are coming every year. So you have to remember the chronology. You have to know the chronology of the authors, their works. It is very important. You have to remember the date of birth of the major authors. You have to arrange them chronologically. So many questions are repeated like that. So it is very important. So today we are going to discuss NTNet's favorite authors, Jane Austen, Thomas Hardy and D.H. Lawrence. First, let's look into Jane Austen. You know that Jane Austen's most famous novel was Pride and Prejudice. Yeah. Then so many other novels are also there like Emma, Sense and Sensibility, Northanger Abbey, etc. So what is most important is you have to remember the chronology. First, you have to study the chronology of all the works. So if you have taken Jane Austen for study, you have to remember the chronology of all her works. First, you have to remember the chronology. Then you have to take each of her novels and study in detail about that. So that is how you have to study. So chronology is very important and it is foremost thing for UGC NET. So let's look into Jane Austen. First published work was Sense and Sensibility, published in 1811. You have to remember the date of publication also. You can remember using some chords, but you have to remember the dates also. This is also important. First, Sense and Sensibility, then Pride and Prejudice, 1813. Darcy Elizabeth, Mansfield Park, 1814. Fanny Price. Emma comes in 1815. Then Northanger Abbey, published posthumously in 1818, but it was written during 1790s. And then Persuasion, published in 1880. So these are the most important works. Other works like Lady Susan was also there, but it was an unpublished one. So first, Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Mansfield Park, Emma, Northanger Abbey, Persuasion. So it is very easy to remember the works of Jane Austen. So Sense and Sensibility 1811, Pride and Prejudice 1813, Mansfield Park 1814, Emma 1815, Northanger Abbey and Persuasion, published posthumously in 1818. So that is all about Jane Austen. Then you have to delve in detail about the different works of Jane Austen and the characters that appear in the novels, etc. So first you have to study the date of publication of all her works. So we have studied that. And next writer is Thomas Hardy. Thomas Hardy, Desperate Remedies, first published work 1871. Under the Greenwood Tree 1872. A Pair of Blue Eyes 1873. Far from the Madding Crowd 1874. Then The Hand of Ethelberta 1876. The Return of the Native 1878. The Trumpet Major 1880. So in this, the most famous works and most important work of Thomas Hardy are Under the Greenwood Tree, Pair of Blue Eyes, Far from the Madding Crowd, Return of the Native. You have to look into detail all this works. So Desperate Remedies 1871, Under the Greenwood Tree 1872, Pair of Blue Eyes 1873, Far from the Madding Crowd 1874, The Hand of Ethelberta 1876, The Return of the Native 1878, The Trumpet Major 1880. So you have to remember the characters also. It is also asked in NET exam, Thomas Hardy's novels and the characters that appear in the novels. Then we have a Laodicean 1881, Laodicean. Then Two on a Tower 1882. The Mayor of Casterbridge 1886, very important work. Then Tess of the D'Urbervilles 1891, very important. The year of publication is also very important. Tess of the D'Urbervilles 1891. Jude the Obscure is also important, 1895. Then The Well-Beloved 1897. So you have to remember these are all important works by Thomas Hardy. So in that I have also mentioned the most important works of Thomas Hardy. So Desperate Remedies 1871, then Under the Greenwood Tree 1872, Then A Pair of Blue Eyes 1873, Far from the Madding Crowd 1874, then The Hand of Ethelberta 1876, then The Return of the Native 1878, The Trumpet Major 1880, then we have a Laodicean 1881, Two on a Tower 1882, The Mayor of Casterbridge 1886, then Test of the Dubervilles, the year is also very important, 1891, then Jude the Obscure 1895, and The Well-Beloved 1897. So these are the chronology of the works of Thomas Hardy. Very, very, very important. It is asked in NET many times, repeated. Then we have D.H. Lawrence. First published novel was The White Peacock, 1911. Then The Trespasser, 1912. Sons and Lovers, 1813. So the character Paul Morrell and Gertrude Morrell are characters in which novel? You should know this answer. Yeah, it is Sons and Lovers. Sons and Lovers, 1913. The Rainbow, 1915. Ursula Major, Women in Love. It is a sequel to The Rainbow. Women in Love, 1920 published. Aaron's Road, 1922. Kangaroo, 1923. The Plumed Serpent, 1926. Lady Chatterley's Lover, 1928. And The Escaped Cock, 1930. The Virgin and the Gypsy, 1930. Posthumously published. So these are the chronology. This is the chronology of the works of D.H. Lawrence. Okay. The White Peacock, 1911, The Trespassers, 1912, Sons and Lovers, 1930, The Rainbow, 1915, Women in Love, 1920, Aaron's Road, 1922, Kangaroo, 1923, The Plumed Serpent, 1926, Lady Chatterley's Lover, 1928, The Escaped Cock, 1930, The Virgin and the Gypsy, 1930. So, we have discussed the chronology of the works of Jane Austen, Thomas Hardy and D.H. Lawrence. These three writers are very important. First, you have to remember the chronology of the works, then you have to go in detail through all the works. So, don't skip chronology. So many questions are asked every year. So, you have to study chronology. So, in our course, we are dealing in detail about all the works. First, we discuss the chronology of the works. Then we go in detail through all the works. So, if you haven't joined, we are starting the new batch for June 2025 NET. If you are yet to join the course, you can click the link below or call the number for more details. Thank you.